Okay. Now, let's go to after Mr. Mansfield offered you the deal, what happened?
After he offered me the deal, I proffered, took the deal, was released from jail.
Okay, and about how long did it take you to get released from jail after you signed the deal?
About a month.
A month. Okay.
The wheels of justice turn slow.
Sometimes. All right. So you take the deal from Mr. Mansfield, and you agree to testify against myself and Roy Wilson.
Correct.
And the exchange is you're on 5 years probation?
Correct.
Okay. With, if I understand correctly, I think Mr. Mansfield said it, I'm not sure, but you get early termination after appearing today, right?
Correct.
Okay. So you'll be a free man?
Correct.
Now, I know you said your dealings with your lawyer were sporadic or whatever, or short. Did he ever show you any of the discovery in the case?
Judge, I'm going to object to the communication between him and his lawyer is protected.
All right. I don't think, I understand that. I think showing discovery is outside that attorney-client relationship, so I'll overrule the objection as long as we don't delve into the communications, but I mean, what he may have seen about discovery, I think that's a fair area of inquiry.
Thank you, sir. Did he show you any of your discovery?
I already had my discovery.
Okay, so what, you had it in your cell?
I had it from my previous attorney, Kevin McCarthy.
Okay. I wasn't talking specifically about Seth LeBay, but okay. So you had your discovery and you got to see your discovery, correct?
Yes.
Okay, did you ever see the DNA results?
Yes.
Okay. And what did those DNA results say?
Judge, again, that's going to be
It
hearsay.
was sustain the objection in terms of, yeah, that's hearsay.
Okay. You said Rory Wilson had a pipe, correct?
Yes.
And that I had the knife, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Did you testify that the pipe was in Rory Wilson's right hand?
Yes.
Okay. Are you aware that Rory Wilson is left-handed?
Yes.
Objection, Judge, again, testifying.
I'm asking a question.
Okay, I'll overrule the objection.
Okay.
Did you answer?
Yes, I did. Yes, I'm assuming I did testify it was in his right hand.
Okay. And are you aware that he's left-handed?
I am now.
Okay. Would you agree that it might be odd for a left-handed person to hold a weapon in his right hand?
No.
Okay. You've had plenty of military experience, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do people often do that? Do they usually hold a
Objection,
weapon?
Yes.
Judge, to the relevance.
I'll overrule the objection.
Based on experience here. Based on your experience, does somebody usually fire a weapon with their left hand or their right hand if they're right-handed or left-handed?
Depends on their ambidexterity.
The ambidexterity.
Correct. The ability to use both hands.
I know what that means. So, that you're aware of, is Rory Wilson ambidextrous?
I'm not 100% aware of what he is,
Okay.
other than a human being.
Okay. And let's, all right. Now, when you were in jail, did they allow you to witness any of the videos or anything like that after that? Did you watch any videos?
No.
Okay. So those are off. And Ken, did you speak to anybody else about the case while you were in jail?
In passing, sure.
Okay. Do you remember anybody you may have talked to?
I was in there for a long time, Mr. Tucker. I talked to a lot of people.
About
I'm not
the case?
exactly an introvert.
About the case?
It had come up multiple times in multiple situations in multiple weeks, days, months, years that I was incarcerated, of course it came up in discussion.
It's safe to say you really wanted out of jail.
Of course I did, as most human beings do.
Get that. Okay. As most human beings do. You know, what do you think most human beings would do to get out of jail?
Objection, Judge.
I'll sustain the objection.
All right. Let me just go over this one more time just to make sure I've got everything here. Okay. And you said you came down around the end of Fantasy Fest, correct?
Yes.
Judge, I'm going to object to ask and answer.
Sustain the objection multiple
As I asked it.
times.
Okay. As I asked it. Okay. And your girlfriend was Shayla at the time.
Shayla Premer. Yes.
Shayla Premer. Okay. And was she aware of your arrest?
Yes.
Okay. And do you still talk to her?
She passed away last year. No, I do not speak with her anymore.
It's my consensus. Did you speak with her prior to that?
Say again?
Did you speak with her prior to that?
Prior to what?
Prior to her passing?
Yes. She came down to see me
But did
after
you?
4.5 years of being out of touch with each other.
Okay.
And
Did she
then
see you?
died the night she went home.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I didn't hear.
She died the night she went home.
Okay. I'm sorry to ask this, but can you tell me, please?
Judge, I'm going to object
How?
to the relevance.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question. What was the question?
I asked how she passed.
Sustain the objection.
Did you ever talk to her about the case?
Yes.
Objection, Judge.
Sustained. It's not relevant.
All right. And let's see. I got here. And just a second. You said there was damage to the warehouse from Hurricane Irma. Can you be a little more specific about what damage?
There's no power. There were holes in the roof.
No power, holes in the roof. Okay. Holes. And were you aware at the time that Rory Wilson was going through an eviction process with the warehouse?
Yes.
Okay. And what was your understanding of that?
There wasn't much of an understanding. I was just aware of the process.
Okay, you're just aware of it. And how did you become aware of that?
Because David Gross was also under the same, it was involved in the same process.
Okay, David Gross was getting evicted too.
Yes.
And that is your friend from the beach.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's go back to Penny Phelps shows up at the warehouse the night. This is the night of the crime, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You said you talked to her, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Did they do anything else while they were there?
Objection, Judge. Asked and answered.
Actually, that hasn't been asked.
I'll overrule that objection.
Which incident in contact with Penny Phelps are you referring to?
Night of the crime, when she showed up at the night of the crime.
The first interaction with her was not very informative or anything like that, and very short. The second interaction, when she came back after the raid, that was the second interaction that I had with her.
I'm talking about the first one, the night of the crime.
Okay, that was a very short interaction.
Short interaction. And did she ask you if anybody was sleeping inside? Or if anybody was inside?
Yes.
Okay. And did you tell her the door was locked?
No.
Okay, you didn't. Do you know if they went into any of the neighbors' apartments?
They did not.
Okay, they did not. Okay. Okay. And why did they leave? Did they tell you, or did they just up and leave?
Their investigation was, she was over. It was over. She just left. The interaction didn't give her anything she wanted, so she left.
Who didn't give her anything she wanted?
The interaction did not give her any
Oh,
information
from
she
you.
could use.
Right,
Correct.
the interaction there. But I mean, okay, was she there for you?
No.
Judge, objection.
I'm trying to understand here.
I'm going to sustain the
Okay.
objection.
I'm trying to just clarify here. Okay. She wasn't at the warehouse for you. So what was she there for?
I'm going to sustain it. We've been over this
Okay.
ground.
Okay.
Let's-
All right, fine. So she just up and leaves?
Yes.
Okay. To your knowledge? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Did she ask you for a phone number?
Asked me for my phone number?
Yeah.
Of course she did.
Okay, she did. Okay. Okay. And you didn't have any interactions with her until was it the raid, right?
Correct.
Okay. Do you have any interactions with anybody else from the MCSO in between
I do
those
believe I
times?
did. Now that I think about it, I think she did contact me about the eviction scenario that was going on at the apartment
Okay.
and what I knew about it. Because of my association with Mr. David Gross and the fact that he was going through an eviction process as well, I had learned that there was something up with the zoning requirements, that it was no longer a residential area, it wasn't a residential area, it was a warehouse district, this and that, and she wanted to know if I knew anything about that. And yes, I did share what information I knew, who owned the building, and what process of eviction Mr. Gross was in at that stage.
Okay. And to your knowledge, did they take anything from the warehouse when they left after the raid?
When I encountered them, no, nothing else was removed.
Okay. Nothing was missing?
Of mine?
Just in general?
Yours? I don't understand what would be missing. I don't understand.
Again, I'm asking you if there was, were you aware of anything in the warehouse missing when they left?
No.
And you did say they came back a second time, correct? After the raid where you weren't there?
When I was not there, I don't know what happened. When I came back, they showed up one time
Okay.
and left.
Okay.
I did not make contact with them again that night.
Let's see, is there anything else we can do here? Okay. Your Honor, I think, can I, for lack of a better word, excuse the witness for a moment while we, actually, can we sidebar, Your Honor?
You can approach the bench. Looks like a good time to take an afternoon break. Members of the jury, let's shoot for 3 o'clock. Again, you don't have to stay in the jury room. Just let the bailiff know who's going to want to go out. 3 o'clock, be available, follow the cautionary instructions, and we'll go from there. right, so they're gone, so we're here without the jury on the record, so there's some impeachment materials, so in the form of some video or transcript or what?
It's quite a bit of stuff, Your Honor.
Well-
It's everything from documents to video to audio.
Well, again, you know, you have to let the opposition see what is, and if there's an objection, I'd have to make a ruling on it. That's,
Your Honor, again, would we like to excuse the witness for a second?
yeah, if it will somehow or other ruin your element of surprise if he's here, I suppose that would be reasonable. So you're still going to be testifying, but during this session, Mr. Johnson asked you to vacate the courtroom, but don't go very far, you know, and don't discuss your testimony with anyone. All right, so I'm not sure at this particular point in time if I'm needed here because,
Actually, Your Honor, I wouldn't imagine so unless we have a problem.
We'll watch it if we need to,
well, again, I hope this isn't 2 hours of viewing here. It's,
Your Honor, to be honest, I don't know how much it's going to be because I gained more information as we went along here. So I'm probably going to have to grab some more videos now.
well,
Well, Judge, if it's proper impeachment, then I guess it'll be fine. If not, it won't be. We do have another witness here that needs to testify today, so she's our DNA analyst. We drove down from Fort Myers and Tampa.
Actually, Your Honor, if we, yeah, okay.
What is she
In the name of expedition, and because again, I have no problem with Angela Ostrowski testifying. I'd actually be willing to pause my cross if they'd like to bring it on.
no, well, that's not a, that to me, that's an appealing option to allow her to testify and to, you know, have more time to.
I would just offer, let's see what he wants to play here for impeachment. We'll see where that's going. And that might give us a better idea.
Okay.
She's going to be here tomorrow too, so if we need to, we can put her on the stand tomorrow. We also have a medical examiner tomorrow, but it shouldn't be too much for the afternoon to retrieve. Who knows?
Well, I know I thought that was the case earlier, but now I'm
I've learned since the last time.
not, yeah, now I'm not as optimistic. All right, I'll come back at 3, but I ask you to keep an open mind about Mr. Tucker's suggestion about interrupting this cross, putting the expert on the stand, finish her, have, like as you know, tomorrow I've got the other dockets I have to deal with, so to the extent that more time would allow you all to assess what the defendant has by way of cross-examination or impeachment, might be a better use of time, but maybe I'm being overly cautious, but we'll see. I'm coming back at 3 to see how far this viewing, this disclosure is going to take you.
unlike he said.
He's got some phone records, Judge, they're not authenticated in any way, shape, or form, but he suggests the phone records prove that he had talked to Travis Johnson prior to.
I was told I was wanted or needed in here. I was told that I was wanted or needed in here.
I figured they did want to go.
All right, Judge, let's start with the first thing, Mr. Tucker, you want to start with the first item of impeachment you want to offer to the court?
Yes, first one was the phone records I showed you. That showed that Travis Johnson knew me prior to a few days before the murder, unlike he said.
He's got some phone records, Judge, they're not authenticated in any way, shape, or form, but he suggests the phone records prove that he had talked to Travis Johnson prior to knowing him, according to him. Travis Johnson testified that, to his memory, I met you, when I said I met you, I don't remember talking to you prior to that. So where's the impeachment?
What he said is he'd be surprised to learn that.
He said, I don't remember meeting you before the day we met.
See, this is where we're having problems, Your Honor. Apparently, we're hearing different things, and they said they would like to get a read back from the court reporter, and apparently I need one too, Your Honor.
Well, what are the records? I mean, what are these records?
Well, the phone records were actually quite determined with the investigation, because they how it is they take everybody's phone records, and then you cross-reference and see who's talking to who.
Well, whose phone records are we, I mean, whose telephone is this a record of?
This would be John Travis Johnson's phone and my phone at the time.
Okay, and, okay, so, well, you did ask him about it. I thought he was somewhat equivocal, but I don't see a problem if he wants to show that to him and he says, oh, this refreshes my recollection, or, yeah, I guess we did talk. Okay, I would overrule the objection to that if, in fact, he can say, yeah, that reflects my telephone.
We didn't take it very far.
This is your opportunity to show him so we can state our objectives as go to him now.
Seems to be our biggest problem is learning what he actually said.
I don't see any big problem. It's implicit in inherent in every trial. It's.
Okay, let's see. And like I said, Your Honor.
Did I turn the screen to see the screen?
Yeah, you can do that if you like.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, the next one that I offered to them was, okay, I asked specifically if he had ever given testimony or a proffer prior to my bond hearing in 2019. He said no. There was a video of the proffer that he gave right before my bond hearing, literally right before my bond hearing. He said he gave no statements.
Well, what is it that you want to?
Again, to show that, yeah, he did make that
What did you want to show him?
So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. No, it's literally, this is the proffer he gave. I can't see from here. Sorry. It's hard to do the mouse and not be able to see. This is it. So, Travis proffer. That's a good book.
This is Detective Matt Pitcher. It is January 24th, 2019. It is 12:08 p.m. I'm with Captain Felt.
Okay, so we.
Assistant Public Defender Kevin McCarthy.
All right, so we can stop it right there. I mean, you're certainly not gonna. Okay, look, okay, so he did say that he didn't, to his recollection, provide a proffer, a statement before your bond hearing, I don't know. So,
I think he said, I think timing, he said he's not sure. There was never a proffer. This was a questioning. The detective and the prosecutor were trying to clarify a few things. This was never a proffer as it relates to potential plea agreement. This was a discussion of details that they needed clarified. To the extent that, yes, you did meet with these people, I don't think he denied meeting with Connie Dunn and Penny Phelps. He's never denied that on the stand. He doesn't know if it occurred prior to the bond hearing. He said, well, when was your bond hearing? I don't know. So
I would overrule the objection again, in an abundance of caution, if he wants to, Mr. Tucker wants to show that, hey, look at here, you made a statement, you were with your lawyer, it was before my bond hearing, okay, I mean, you all can clarify that on redirect, but I think it's within the scope of so-called impeachment that I would overrule the objection. The only question is, what exactly you're going to do to publish this or to show it to him? That's my question.
And Your Honor, I would submit that, okay, I don't need to show much of this video to impeach it. I mean, we just need to know what happened. That's all, right? That's it. Instead of, again, I don't want to play the whole video for the jury. I know you don't.
No,
So,
it wouldn't be.
I would defer to you, Your Honor, as far as how much, or just, how we do this to just, again, to show that it happened when he said it did.
When he
Judge,
suggests.
my only thing is, I think that if the defendant asks the witness again, did you ever meet with Dunn and Phelps? He would say yes. The question is, was it on the eve of his bond hearing? And nobody knows when that was. I don't know when it was. The jury doesn't know. I know you know, but nobody else knows. So was this on the eve of the bond hearing? Potentially, who knows?
Well, I also asked him if he made any testimony, offered any testimony. The deal with Connie Dunn.
There was never a deal with Tommy Dunn. Well,
Okay, well,
She approached him with a deal. He said that.
okay. Nevertheless, it would seem to me that, Mr. Johnson, I would like to show you this, this videotape, and, I don't think it needs to go more than, like 10 seconds or something like that. Sir, do you see the date? Do you see the time? Is that you there? Is that your lawyer there? Is that, you aware that this occurred prior to my, bond hearing? I think, just a couple seconds into it with that information on the screen, that should achieve your purpose.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
I agree.
All right, so.
Okay, so this one, 12 here, this one I would submit, Your Honor, we're gonna have to listen to the whole thing. And this is because John Travis Johnson says he went around once, right? When they cased the joint, so to speak.
Right.
He goes around once, black sedan is no longer there, correct? That's what he said.
No, that's not what he said. He said he went around once and came back to the warehouse.
No, okay, I think we're getting confused here because, okay, remember we came up in sidebar about this. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was confused at first.
Right.
The first time they went up there, apparently they went back to the warehouse.
After they made the checked out the place and came back to the
And
warehouse.
then when they came back, the truck circles around once and then it, comes back for the second.
Right. After they saw the black vehicle in front, went around again, and it was gone.
Okay, good. Because this is the 911 call, right? This is Gabriella Torini, and she literally, in real time, is talking about seeing somebody jump into that black sedan after, John Travis Johnson supposedly gone, and watching them come from the treehouse, jump in that black sedan, head off the other way down low. So if the sedan's gone, how is she seeing this?
I'm not following what this,
Maybe if I play.
Hey, so what is what state?
But my objection is, the person refers to somebody running his business.
Well, we gotta wait until it's done.
Could have swore I closed it, Your Honor. I'm sorry. Anyway.
But again, she's asking for a description of who, the man at CVS asking to call 911? Or she giving a description of the person that she sees get into a car? There could be other cars in the area, just not black sedan in front of the Treehouse. It's very vague. He gets into a car. She doesn't say it's right in front of the tree. I mean, look, she's photographs of the street. There's cars up and down the street.
I mean, okay, I was trying to be simple here with this one, but okay, she gives a full statement later about how she saw somebody run out of the treehouse, get into a black sedan that is right below CVS, right where they said.
Judge, I would ask you, since you're
It's all right. It's no big deal. I'm just hard to see what the significance of this is.
Well, again, Your Honor, he says it goes right to his credibility. He says he goes around once, the car's
Right.
gone.
Okay.
Okay, well now it's, again, it didn't just magically reappear.
Well, what did this? Well, first of all, what? Apparently, somebody's making a 911 call, and what are they reporting?
They're actually, this is the person that Tyrone ran to, and, you know, wanted 911, so this is after you see the flashlight go up the hill.
Right.
He goes and gets somebody, flags him down for 911, this is the person who called.
And what does that person say?
She says that she is in real time watching somebody come from the treehouse, get in that black sedan that supposedly isn't there, and go down the other way on Laurel.
No, that could be any vehicle. That certainly doesn't impeach or.
He said there were no cars there. There was no, you specifically made, there's no cars on the street. They were gone.
in front of the tree.
In any event, it doesn't entail any big argument. This doesn't seem to be debatable to me. That's not valid. It's not a direct impeachment. It entails, encompasses many different possibilities, and I don't see where that contradicts what Mr. Johnson said. So I would have to sustain the objection. Yes, sir.
If he said, indeed, because again, like I can't, it seems like we're gonna have to go back here. If he says there's no cars that are on that street when he came back and parked, he comes back and parks, there's no cars on the street, and this is literally seconds. I mean, not seconds, minutes, maybe a minute, right? Okay, and now there's a car on the street, parked.
It's a city street, right?
I get this, but you get this, Your Honor, but coincidentally, it's another black sedan.
Anyway, I just don't see how that is a valid impeachment, and so I would not have it sustained. Excuse me?
Okay, let's go back to, go back to.
That's one, just to be clear, our objection on that one is sustained.
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, let's move on.
Okay. Let's see, we go to. Check on this, Your Honor, just for time sense, okay?
Okay.
So, let's go for some. Yeah. Okay, 2008. That's gonna be on that one. Actually, let me bring this with me just to make it simple. he offers no information about the case until Phelps tells him this. And he says, because she didn't tell me anything that I wasn't already going to say, but again, she told it to him before he says it.
So she never denied that.
Well,
One step at a time.
What he testified to, Judge, was that when Penny Phelps laid it out for him, that she was spot on, dead on the money, that she got it and she figured it out, and that her version of it was exactly what happened. And then after that, they told him to put in his own words, and then he gave a statement. So again, where's the impeachment? He never denied that Penny Phelps laid it out for him.
Okay, let me just understand. What do you want to present?
Well, Your Honor, it wasn't his story to begin with.
But just tell me what you want to present.
Captain Phelps telling him the story. And he does, right before that, he's lying and tell man she says that.
So you want to play an audio or a video?
It's actually a video. Well, I'll show it to you now. That way you can-
Well, no, I don't need to see it. How long? Are you?
It's not very long, Your Honor. It's maybe a few minutes.
And so you want, I mean, just want to understand this. You want a law enforcement officer to recite their theory of your guilt, and you want to, I mean, to me, most people would want to keep that out of evidence, but you want it in evidence, a recitation of the law enforcement's theory of your guilt. Just so I'm clear.
Yes, Your Honor, because, okay, there's a big difference between somebody coming up with their own story and just confessing to the police and the police telling them.
Well, I understand, and we heard what Mr. Johnson said, but if you want to play this, I just find it an interesting strategy, but if you want to play it, go ahead.
Let's take a look at it. Let's see what we got.
Treehouse that's trying to take care of the property. That's too old. What's the treehouse? The place across from CBS.
What is this? Is this something else?
She gets into it.
Well, I said you could play it.
You know what?
But I don't.
You don't need to see it.
I don't need to see it.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
I don't you know,
So, but you said that's okay.
I questioned the strategy, but I said, okay.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I misunderstood. I thought you
No,
were going to
that's
play it
fine.
now. My friend said. Okay, so let me go ahead and go to this one.
Case going on, you know, with the cost of the eviction.
So when we get up to 20.
I told him I'd do whatever I could to help out with that.
Okay, we're gonna have to walk around.
All right, here we go. It's John Travis Johnson.
Is this some different evidence now?
Yeah, this is different impeachment material.
Well, different than what you just talked about Penny Phelps. What is this now?
This one, okay, in this one, John Travis Johnson says, I'm the one who brought this, coaxed the money, talked about the treehouse, going to the treehouse to actually, there's money there, and, I'm the one who actually brings the deal, not Rory Wilson.
Well,
With what he said in Rory's trial and what he says now, right? Okay, so that would be impeachment.
Okay, there's no objection, all right.
And what time of the day was this discussion? How long the day probably is it?
It all transpired within 30 minutes.
Okay.
You know, there was going back for a little while. I think he went first and came back. And he said to Tyrone, this is happening, and, they're done. Let's go here, get this money.
No, I know what you're thinking now. Because unfortunately, he says two different things, even in the same statement.
Drives over there, and I was like, guys, I don't really want to be in part of this, but y'all track out there.
Okay.
Whatever's whatever. I'm not looking for a cut or anything like that. I just, once he asked me.
Just trying to take care of you.
It's coming up.
That's all I'm trying to do.
You're trying to survive. We get it. We absolutely get it. So how much earlier in the day is this call talk about going over there before 8 o'clock at night. Okay. Focus. So who knew there was money up in that house, in that treehouse? Who was talking about throwing his money up there? Was there a doubt?
Just switched it from Lori Wilson to Tyrone in less than, what, 2 minutes?
Well, I mean, you can interpret it multiple ways, man. I mean, who knew? That doesn't mean exclusively, but nevertheless, if you want to play the man's statement again, I mean, again, it's hard to understand why, but if you, I assume the state's not objecting.
No objection. Look, it's, again, it's just, okay, my guy's changing the story constantly.
Well, I understand, you can, I'm not I'm not, they're not objecting, I'm just, you know, here between us, I'm just querying the wisdom of playing a damaging statement over again to reinforce what the witness already said, but you can do it.
Okay, but that's not what he said. He said that Lori Wilson.
I understand how you
Look, I
want to interpret it, but let's keep going here.
Anyway, we'll go back to this. We got, let's see, oh, this one, you know, again, he, so 20, he says he voluntarily, you know, gave up the truth. 2004, so we'll go to this one, we'll go to 24 seconds. This is close.
Right there, looking out, you just do whatever. Okay. Hold up. And I just, I saw them and I got scared to death. And I went back to the house and they came back and they recovered the money between the two of them. And we $50 bill, put the money into my truck for gas and you know, it's amount and like said anything or did anything like sideways and whatnot. Like, I think the best thing I could do is just try to keep doing what I was doing and be the right guy, do the right thing.
Travis, I can't tell you how happy they've been.
I must be off here because I have something else different here, so I'm going to assume that I'm off. Let's go over here. Okay, and I think we did hear this already where you should have, again, the discussion, just wants gas in his truck. Let's go back to... This was just anticipation, and like I said, there's other videos on that to pull. But, okay, he did specifically say, that, again, didn't go anywhere else that day, not to CBS. There wouldn't be a picture of him at CBS. I'm serious. So, okay, that's simple one enough, right? Yeah. This is right before the crime.
I can't see anyone.
Okay, is there any objection?
I don't see him on the video yet.
Well, it's not a video. These are pictures that were taken.
Okay, where is he in this picture?
So,
Okay, show me the picture.
okay, good.
All right?
Here. Let's see what else. Oh, this was one. Oh, this is actually one I do have to ask. Okay, here's one. If, I should probably ask about it, but.
What about anybody else? Can you borrow a truck? Does anybody ever borrow a truck?
No.
Who else, so nobody in that truck without your permission? Does anybody ever lie with you? Let's see. Who else has been in that truck? Big specimen in the truck? What about? Okay. Right. What about, Troy? Have you ever been in the truck? What about, have you ever been in the truck?
I'm in this truck.
Okay. Good deal. Give me just 1 minute.
Because that's the other question I do have is, like I said, I'm going to have to more videos.
Well, Mr. Tucker, this is it. This is like it. We're pull more videos.
Well, I mean, he lied about a lot of things, Your Honor.
Well, no, sir. This is all day apparently. Travis Johnson. You know.
I mean, you know, I'm trying to hear you, Your Honor.
Well, good. I am too, and we're, you know,
I'm trying to
it's just.
make it easy. But anyway, but that would expect me to know exactly what he's going to say.
No, I would expect you to be prepared and follow the basic rules. So again, this is the day, so whatever you have, you know, that's,
Your Honor. Again. No, again.
nobody's objecting. You can present.
I don't want to play an hour-long video of lies that he tells prior to prove that he, you know, that he said, because he says he told the truth the whole time, right? He said he never lied about it.
That's a mischaracterization, but we're not here to cut, you know,
I just don't
split
wanna-
hairs. So anyway, so let's see what else. So far, you've been able to utilize the vast majority of what you want to, so.
Okay. Well, and again, I'm sorry. All right, so I'm just trying to avoid the same problems.
Case going on, you know, with the cause of the eviction. Like, you know, I told him I'd do whatever I could to help out with that. So I don't know why I would have any problem.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I do remember him saying specifically that he never lied. He always told the truth about this.
Mr. Tucker, you can certainly make whatever argument you want to. I don't interpret his testimony in that manner, but be that as it may, just proffer your next item. And
My feeling was there was some really bad blood when you were drunk. Some very bad blood.
No, not at all.
When I was trying to figure out what could you have done? I mean,
No,
looking to, you know,
I haven't done anything to anybody, man. Like, you can find anybody that knows me whatsoever. I'm not violent. I'm not aggressive. I don't start fights. You know what I mean? I don't. I don't. I've seen enough violence to last a lifetime, man. You know,
this is part of what you want to.
say that
There was a
that was my feeling. Listening to
Danny
all
Phelps tells
the
him his story.
details of his side of the story that we hear. My feeling was, man, this guy must have really brought something. He's coming in here talking.
So, I mean, we can, again, I don't know exactly how long he goes on like this, but I mean.
Well, I haven't heard him.
I just didn't, I don't know what, Mr. Tucker, what do
It
you
says like, it makes it sound like he's been honest about this. He literally said, I've been truthful about this the entire time. And no, he hasn't.
I
He
did.
told many lies before that. That's the thing.
I didn't hear him claim to be truthful. Was there something on that? I mean,
I did hear that. I mean, I'm not trying to disagree with you
No,
on as
I-
far as our ears. I mean, if we can get it read back, maybe.
Judge, I think the distinction is, once he fessed up, he claims he's been truthful ever since he fessed up. Mr. Tucker has gone back in time before the fess up and found the entire hours where he's not owning anything. And he says, Mr. Tucker, let me finish to the judge, okay? There you go again, talking over people.
okay. Let's just. Yeah. Mhm. Let's.
Okay, then, go ahead, Judge. He wants to talk over everybody.
Let's just hear what you have to say, and then
I
we'll.
would just like to finish a thought, Judge, without Mr. Tucker
Yeah.
cutting me off and opining his brilliance.
Well, we're doing fine thus far. Again, it's.
Mr. Tucker has gone back in time prior to Travis Johnson owning up everything, and he's like, oh, he lied about all this. Travis Johnson never denied that he was untruthful in the beginning, but once he gave his story, after Penny Phelps laid it out, he agreed with her, and he gave his story, he's been truthful since then. There's a distinction. So,
Okay.
Your Honor, may I?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I specifically asked him, did he vacillate, did he make up another story prior to Penny Phelps giving him his story? He said, I've been honest the entire time.
No, that's not quite what he said, but you know what? Again, you want to play it. Play it. You know, if that's some private.
It's important that the jury
Well, I know what you. I know what you think. The only thing is, be careful what you open the door to. I mean, you know, that, so.
Judge, let me just say, at this point in time, because he's called into question a fabrication,
Yeah.
under, I think it's 90.603, I plan on introducing his prior consistent.
I understand that.
So, I mean, he can play this, go ahead.
That's what I didn't say it in terms of the legal phrase, but that, I said open the door, so, Mr. Tucker, now you're talking over me. Just to be clear, you can do it, but it is true. Then you're going to open the door to the state being able to, then in their redirect, present statements that refute that. So in a layman's terms. So in any event, I'll allow it.
Do you mind if I ask Mr. Mansfield a question?
No, I don't.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Mr. Mansfield, just to be clear, I'm kind of curious as to what you'd like to put up here.
You're just behind that microphone or closer to a
I would
microphone.
like to know, I mean, again, I want to know what you know, because you're asking me what I'm going to put on, I'm asking you what you're
Mr. Tucker, when you get down with your cross, I'll have a better idea of where we're gonna go from there. You know what you're gonna put up.
Well, if I, again, you said you put something up to refute this, I'd like to know.
Okay, and when we get to that, I will, and Mr. Mansfield has something, then he'll let you see it. But at this point, I think there has to be some anticipatory, you know, information. All I'm saying is, from what I see, it doesn't appear to me to be inconsistent with the basics, what Mr. Johnson testified to in terms of the sequence of events. But if you want to play it, you can play it. But then the state may be able to present testimony or evidence that rebuts that and shows that, in fact, you know, this is his testimony that refutes that. So, anyway, do you want to put it? You can do it.
Thank you. I'm just giving you
Well, that's why you need a lawyer, or people want lawyers.
some of my lawyers are the ones that gave me this advice.
Okay, it's one thing to be given advice, it's another thing to be able to use it and to manage it in the context of a trial.
A good, decent life.
Spend a lot of time trying to get.
I have my vices, I have, the things that I like to do, but I'm not good.
You know the big difference of when he gives us a time.
So, I mean, you've already said he can play this, right? Okay. We don't need to listen to it anymore right now.
Yeah, I just don't. I wish I did.
Set his truck, he emptied it out, and he got up to big time. Okay, and actually, I'm gonna go ahead and try and make this so you can see them all at once. Just make it easy.
Your Honor, I have no objection to Mr. Tucker playing the entire interview with Penny Phelps, if that's what he wants to do.
All right, what else was we?
This is actually, I'm gonna try and make it so you can see the pictures. Your Honor, just give me a second, because I'm trying to find where it does that. It does, go ahead. Because these are all pictures here, Your Honor. I'm just trying to make it so you can see them all at once. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do large icons. Actually, so you're bigger than this. Extra large icons. There we go. Now this is, he said he emptied out his truck after he got up a big time. This is what was found in his truck when they searched it. Which is quite a bit of material. Lots of stuff. Including.
That's correct, Judge, because once he went to jail, Mr. Ochoa, who owns the house, came and took all the stuff that Travis had unloaded in the house, and put all in his truck that was still in the driveway, to get all of his stuff out of the house and put it in the truck. So that's why, when he went to jail, the truck was empty, but now the truck has all this stuff in it.
I don't know that.
Okay. Okay, so any objection?
No objection at all.
All right, we gotta bring the jury in. I mean, they've been waiting for, you know,
I don't want a repeat of the problem.
so I'm just curious here.
Now, here's the question. Are we gonna play the entire interview as they suggested?
I'm just curious, like, this may take us till 5 and.
Oh, yeah, Judge, we're sending our DNA analyst home. We're gonna get her a room and she's gonna come back tomorrow.
And how much later than 5 we're going today, I don't know, but, you know,
I vote for, listen, we work till 5 and we have to break and come back tomorrow and pick it up again. That's probably what we'll have to do.
okay. So, I'm just going to go into my chambers for like a minute and we'll come out and.
Penny Phelps' interview?
I can't hear you, sir.
Jessel. I guess that might take some time.
Please be seated. Okay, so Mr. Johnson is around.
Yes, I'll be.
Back on the witness stand. Let's bring the jury in, please.
Your Honor, if you may.
Sorry?
If I may, before you, I just talked to Mr. Mansfield and we agreed that we're going to play Penny Phelps' full interview. And again, I'm going to go ahead with everything else and we'll do that tomorrow, if that's okay.
Do what tomorrow?
Play Penny Phelps' entire interview.
No, I didn't agree. I think we should just keep moving. We have the interview, let's play it.
Right, we're going to 5.
No, I'm with that. I'm with going to 5. It's just, you know, that's a long interview, and we agreed that we would actually play the entire thing.
Okay, so what's the problem?
Oh, because neither one of us have the entire thing right now.
I don't know. I plan to go to 5. I've never seen a trial where we waste so much time, frankly. But nevertheless, what is I don't understand what the concern is right now.
Well, no, it's just, okay, all of the interviews that were taken by the police at the time were chopped up into multiple sections. If we're going to play the entire interview, then we would have to make sure that we have the other sections. We don't have them.
Did you want to weigh in here, or
Judge, I mean, it's his impeachment, so I assume he has the interview. He's telling me he doesn't have the whole interview. I'm checking to see if we do, so we can move this process along. And I think we do have it here. Let's pop it in real quick and see.
Sorry, guys.
Mr. Tucker, do you know where the mouse is?
Oh, I was there. I'm trying to get myself to sit on the courthouse mouse.
Big file. No, one is 457 on the right. One more, 2 more down. No, wait, stop right there. Put it down. Oh, that's good, because I don't know what time the detectives come in. All right, Judge, just so that the record is clear, what we're looking at here is the interview that I believe Mr. Tucker is referring to. Is that correct? David, what happened? What'd you do?
Just stop it.
I'm gonna keep my.
Okay, read that. All right? Yeah. And I'm having a hard time verifying some of these things, okay? That's a problem. Maybe serve our country, how it's a man, you know, how you don't want that thing about you. Okay, read that. I was just listening. I kind of just listened somewhere. Sometimes we can figure out times where, okay, what is the big deal, right? That common, is that? Okay, you were going, is it?
I think it's section 30.
Right, that's why we're talking again, all of a sudden I'm catching you all the time. You know, I know we're trying to keep a couple of things, but I'm just over.
the site, it's not the start.
Anyway, is this what you'd like to play?
Your Honor, I'd like to play maybe just before this. I don't think there's too much before this or before Phelps comes in.
I think she's coming in now.
Yeah, she'll come in soon, but I'd like to give at least a little context.
That's right. Okay, so where would you like to start it?
Let's go ahead and, just like, again, a little bit prior to where they're at. That's about it. Just like I say, give it context.
Right here is the beginning of this one. Is that all right?
Let's, so asking about taking the time.
You want to go back to the previous one? I mean,
Yeah, let's go back to the previous
All
one.
right.
We'll do it from there and then we'll just let them know. That sound okay?
That policy, that's what you do?
That's it. It's fine. So, this is,
All right, so 414, Dr. Roy, you're probably on the beach.
Listen, I can't keep this jury waiting any longer. So if this is what, this is,
And I don't care if you know, I just want to verify something. Look at me.
we're gonna go to 5 and find cutting place and then tell them to come at 1 tomorrow. And you're gonna have to return at that point in time, Mr. John. Bring in the jury, please.
actually.
Thank you. Please be seated. Members of the jury, welcome back. Please accept my sincere apologies for this lengthy delay. I hadn't forgotten about you. I knew you were back there. Thank you for your confidence. We weren't taking a long afternoon break. We were doing some important things here. Now we're ready to proceed with continued cross-examination for scheduling, planning purposes. We're going to go to about 5, and then wherever we're at, we're going to break and start again tomorrow, so you don't have to worry about being held after hours. Just thank you for your continued patience and attention for the rest of the day. So we'll have Mr. Johnson back up here on the witness stand, and Mr. Tucker, you can proceed with your cross-examination.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Now, Mr. Johnson, we just put this video up here. Do you know approximately what time this was or when this video was?
11/22/2017.
Okay. Okay. And where are you at?
Sheriff's Department headquarters.
Okay. So this is when after they had brought you down under the guise of your truck, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you know, if I remember correctly, you stated that you always told the truth when it came to your story.
I've told the truth, yes. After I admitted my guilt in this,
Okay.
I've told the truth.
So, but you, again, clarify, as far as, but did you tell that story?
There were
that
some
narrative?
inconsistencies in the beginning, of course, because of my fear
Okay,
of being incarcerated.
okay.
But in the long run, the truth came out.
But you vacillated, you didn't lie.
No, I didn't lie.
Okay,
There were no outright lies.
okay,
There were misperceptions of individuals, because I don't know you too well. I may have confused you two once or twice with each other. There may have been timelines I'm not 100% sure of. But no, there have been no lies.
okay, let's get to that. I believe I asked you, did you, prior to Captain Phelps giving you that narrative, did you tell any other stories other than that? Did you lie?
Nothing I'm aware of, no.
Okay. We'll go ahead and go to the tape.
Judge, again, the question needs to be more specific. The witness testified that once I owned up to what I did, I haven't lied since. This video goes before that.
Well, I just asked him if he lied prior to that.
Well, in any event, certainly there'll be redirect, and right now, you can proceed with the presentation of this evidence.
Oh, of course, now we're stuck.
Okay, so this is on the 16th.
The video's stuck.
Oh,
there we go.
Okay, Mr. Tucker, I'm not sure what your position here
I'm
is
sorry.
for. I thought we were...
Probably at the beach, so you definitely go, you're not gonna walk there.
Wait, can we please stop it a second?
Oh, and turn it towards your answer. You're absolutely correct.
I just wanna,
I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and...
I'm just unclear if you're going to be questioning him during this?
Well, I can stop any question as soon as we have enough to answer it.
Okay, but I prefer that you be out that way rather than over here.
And
Thank
do you
you.
mind if I turn it towards the jury?
Oh, yes, I don't mind if there's a better view for
Judge,
the
we would
jury.
ask that he be at the podium when he's asking questions of the witness.
Well, it's hard to work the thing and be at the podium at the same time. It's all, it's just logistics.
Can everybody see the screen? Okay, the gentleman seated at the far end is a little bit iffy. Okay, does that help, sir? Thank you. So the state can see it. Can you see it? Okay, so if Mr. Tucker's positioned out toward the podium, then that would be preferable. Let's roll him.
Now, let's see. Now, as we said, this is before Penny Phelps gave you the story, correct?
Okay, so this is on the 16th. I talked to him for 7 minutes.
okay. Okay, so 414, talk to Roy, you're probably at the beach, so you definitely go, you're not gonna walk there.
Right. Well, that's my biggest thing, man, is I'm scared of getting in trouble for driving my truck.
And I don't care if you go,
Right.
I just wanna verify something, look at me, I wanna verify something of what you're telling me. I haven't been able to verify one statement you made with what we have. So it's important to me to verify something.
It's actually really, you've got to understand where we're coming from now.
I do.
This is a voter case.
Yeah, I do.
You understand that completely.
100%.
So if you tell us one of the things we can't verify,
I'm scared to death.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared.
Well, I am, because if these are the guys that are involved in it, and I've been around them and back and forth, I wish I could have every little detail exactly what you want to know about my day, because
you mind if I look at your phone?
go ahead, man.
I appreciate that, Marty.
Yeah.
I really want to get into. I want you to give me some stuff so I can verify. So we got from 414. You're probably at the beach. I understand you could. I mean, honestly, what did I do Friday? I was working, so it was a little easier. But it is hard to pinpoint downtimes. I get that, and no doubt about that. We have a license plate reader. Have you ever seen those? Heard of those? Okay, they have like on SunPass or Toll. They have different variations like that. We have them here. So we have your truck. I have pictures of your truck hitting the tag reader. And that's why we ask, did anybody else drive? Is it common for someone else to use your truck? Okay. So, and we have video. All right. So you tell me a time or something in a ballpark, we can verify, okay, he was going to this location. He wasn't with Roy, but he was with Roy. He wasn't with this person, or he was with this person. So remember, we talked to these other two gentlemen for a long time. They told us a lot of things. Okay? Things that may or may not help you right now.
Things that may or may not be true, you know.
Exactly. So that's all right. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah, dude.
All right. but they never done anything. So do you remember meeting with Marty? Yeah. Okay, so keep going from there. Told him not to come back to the house. He got David's cell phone from him. Because that was one of the things that Dave, when he got out of jail.
Just to be clear, you just asked about Maddie. Is that the Maddie that I asked you about earlier, Matthew Gideon?
I don't recall. I don't
Okay. You don't recall. You don't recall. That's fine.
He's asking me to get his cell phone. To make sure that we have it out of jail. What do you think they told you? What do you think Tyrone would tell us about you? I have no clue. None. No idea. None.
Do you mind if I could, 1 second?
Yeah.
We're really, really curious about something.
Okay.
Okay. When I talked to you a few minutes ago, yeah, I see we're a little bit, but we're not close.
Well, well, after the court date, and we've got phone numbers, and he contacted me after my truck. Yeah, he wants me to let him know what's going on at the house, so I don't want to let him know what's going on at the house, if I'm not there, he's not there.
I'm curious about family here around the Tom phone, according to times he gave us. Your calm, worry. What comes to you guys talk about?
I'm asking if there's anything down. You know, and you can talk and pull my records, you can do anything with my phone, you can't answer it. That's not a problem. Like I said, I just called him, asked him if I was there, or if he was there, or... You heard that conversation? No, I don't know, I don't remember. I just remember calling if it was, you know... I don't remember these things. Yeah, I don't. It's been a few days already. Well, but I mean, I don't remember everything you don't.
So, Rory with the girl, right? And you're calling at, or he's calling you at 4:17 in the morning?
4:17 in the morning.
Yeah. Not going by the
Well, no, let me think about that, because...
That's a good idea. And you understand,
Because the
typically,
open,
we don't talk to
right, because the police is there. And he's telling me, I think he was calling, asking me what was going on. Okay. So that day on that Saturday, 4:17?
Yeah, in the morning on Saturday.
Saturday?
Yeah.
Hey, man, the murder record on Friday night. So that was, okay, that's what I was a little confused. But yeah, no, that was because the police were at the house and did everything, and he's calling me asking me what's going on, and he told me something.
Now, so far, Mr. Johnson, would you consider any of that a lie?
No, I mean, I really don't, and I don't have 100% recall of what was discussed, what was communicated in phone calls. I'm not lying at this point. I don't think I've divulged the truth. It may be by omission from fear of being implicated.
You don't remember what you were talking about with Rory Wilson on the night of the crime?
No.
Right afterwards?
No, I do not.
Okay.
But when he comes, there is a day that didn't happen. He would say that that's not what he called you?
Not that I'm aware of, but I'm pretty sure that the only thing he interested me is what's going on. You know, what the fuck is going on? So,
I'm not trying to be, I promise, I'm trying to help you out.
right.
So far, you tell me things, all of a sudden I'm catching you that, something's not quite honest. Because I know you said you're scared about driving, all right?
Right.
But put yourself in our shoes. None of this is looking good, and you're not helping us be able to verify anything.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to do the best I can. I mean, I don't
mean wrong with
I've never done anything wrong in my friggin' life, dude. And, like, you know, I want to make sure that my shit's safe and...
Have you ever been arrested before?
Like, yeah, but I just got arrested for paraphernalia, you know? Other
What
than
about
that,
Dallas?
I've been arrested for tickets.
Anything else with Dallas?
No.
Any reason to be assault with a deadly weapon from Dallas?
No. Assault with a deadly weapon? No.
Okay,
Not me.
gotcha.
Don't No issue with her?
Why would I have an issue with it?
I thought,
We were trying to keep the house, you know what I mean? We were trying to keep a place over her head. You know what I'm saying? And I was the one who really had enough common sense, though.
you ever crossed them in a bad way? You ever give them on or anything?
No. Never done anything
So they say,
to anybody. No, I mean, like, as far as I knew, you know, we were all over the place, you know, but we were cool. I was there, you know, back in the day, you know, help keep the shit, you know, together. Try to get the life back on, try to get, you know, a court case going on, you know, with Cosmo, the eviction. Like, you know, I told him I'd do whatever I could to help.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean, I was having trouble stopping it where I wanted to. So did you just say you were homeboys, your friends
We were,
with Rory Wilson?
for lack of better terms, yeah, we were in acquaintances with each other's. Yeah, we had no negativity toward each other at this point in time.
Okay, but homeboys is a little different.
It's a lack of a better term, per se. But friends, no.
Still don't think you're lying here.
No, I don't, Tucker. I'm having a hard time accepting the truth is what I'm having a hard time dealing with. The hard time accepting the fact that I'm caught. That's what I see. I see fear in my eyes of being persecuted, being prosecuted for this crime. That's what's starting to come into my awareness is that
Okay, I wasn't asking what was in
I'm
your
being
head.
caught.
Mr.
I
Johnson,
need
Mr.
to
Johnson,
admit.
Mr. Johnson, I wasn't asking what was in your head. I was asking.
You're asking me if I lied.
One step.
I did not lie.
He gave a responsive answer, so now we'll move on to the next.
I haven't got to my question, Your Honor. I was asking, I didn't ask what was in his head. I'm asking what came out of his mouth.
I did not lie.
I believe that encompassed, if you still think you're not lying, is asking what's in his head. So I think it was a responsive answer, so we can go on to the next.
What's wrong with that? So I don't know why I would have any problem with have it all. At all.
my feeling was there was some really bad blood between you and Roy.
No,
Some very bad blood.
no, not at all.
You know, I'm trying to figure out what can you have done? I mean,
No,
look at you, you know.
I haven't done anything to anybody, man. Like, you can find anybody that knows me whatsoever. I'm not violent. I'm not aggressive. I don't start fights. You know what I mean? I don't. I don't. I've seen enough violence to last a lifetime, man. You know. And for him to say that he's mad at me,
Matt, no, my feeling, listening to him, the details of his side of the story that we're going to hear. My feeling was, damn, this guy must have really crossed him to be coming in here talking like this with us.
I don't have any feelings. I mean, I don't.
Don't sound like it, man. You don't think that you don't sound like it.
No, dude, I've lived a good, decent life.
You spend a lot of time trying to get.
I have my vices, I have, the things that I like to do, but I've never.
You know, the big difference of when he gives us a time or something, we've been able to verify. You know?
I don't know how to do that.
Okay. If you let me, there's sections here. That's what, this is not the complete video. The videos were given to both the state and to the defense in sections.
Yes, members of the jury, this section of this one long interview or interrogation is now going to be succeeded by the next section. So it's not all on one drive. So.
Don't know, I remember times I acted, and I just don't. I wish I did. I mean, I can't go to that shit. I really do wish I could remember times better. I know we have to write everything down so I can remember this shit.
Travis, I'm gonna take a big deep breath. I'm gonna try to keep my temper on. I'm really like And you and I have had some good conversations over the last couple of days, and I'm gonna tell you what has just happened and why I'm so upset. We are picking up April right now, and we're taking her to the safe house.
Okay.
And the reason we have to do this is because Ty threatened to kill her and me. Yes. Yes. So two of the decent people in the story,
Yeah.
April and Tracy, who have nothing to do with any of it,
No.
have not been told. You better stop talking. You better start running. Because if anything more is said to the police, I'm going to take care of you and your baby. And I've got a 27-year-old first-time mother who is scared to death that she's going to get killed merely for telling the truth.
And I told her to call me this morning if she needed anything and give her my phone number. And if I needed to. I came back to Dallas this afternoon, I called you guys, told you, and got my stuff and got out of there. I told April,
She told me that.
if she needed anything at all, to give me a call and I would come back and help her.
Travis, the really sad part of the story is that
Yeah.
we had the opportunity to
Clarify
talk
that.
to a lot of people.
Okay, just to clarify, we just heard what Captain Phelps told you about me supposedly threatening April, right?
Yes.
And you did talk to her that morning, correct? Talked to her the morning when you gave her your phone number and all that.
April?
Yeah, April Walker.
Yes, I did.
Okay, and did she seem distressed? Did she seem like, did she seem like she had been threatened?
From my assessment, no.
Okay, thank you.
And most of the people in the story are good, decent people. And you're one of the good, decent people in the story, Travis. You really are. You're a guy who falls back from hard luck and is really taking your life and moving it forward and positive. You did everything you could with a bad situation after the hurricane. You get victimized. You lose your tools, you lose your cooking utensils, you scratch your truck, and you still stay positive. You're not the one out there saying, I'm going to beat you, I'm going to kill you. What you're doing is you're doing the right thing, talking to the police, trying to get this set straight. You're one of the good guys in the story. Rory's one of the good guys in the story. Detroit is doing right by April. He doesn't have a lot of money, but he was working. He got her at least a somewhat decent place to stay. The conversation you and I had last night, it's not the Taj Mahal that you were looking at, but it was a room, and it was a place, and it was safe.
I'm trying to make it as safe
I
as
know.
possible.
Yep, and Travis has been doing right by everybody. And Rory was right by April. He knows she's scared. He knows that it's her first baby. He's proud to be with her, and he's proud to be having a son. He's waiting for that baby to come into this world. So there's good people in the story. You're a good person in the story. April's a good person in the story. Rory, Detroit is a good person in the story. The asshole in the story, you and I both know who the asshole in the story is. No, we both know. Don't ask the question. You and I both know who the bad guy in the story is. You know. And he's only making it worse, Travis. How the hell do you go to
Just out of curiosity, did you just say, is it Ty?
Yes, I did.
And she, again, why would you say that?
I don't know, because the simple question is, you know who it is? Is it Ty? That's a responsive
I'm
answer
the asshole.
in
To quote, I'm the
a
asshole.
conversation. Yes, this is with the
Okay.
implications.
Just checking.
the 27-year-old, 9-month pregnant woman and tell her to her face, I'm going to hurt you and your baby. I'm going to take care of you and your baby if you don't stop running your mouth. What's April trying to do? Find out what's going on with Detroit. She's home alone.
Yeah.
Scared to death.
Yeah.
Ask a simple question. You know what she said to you.
Yeah.
How come Rory's stuff is on the internet? And Ty isn't. And you honest with her and said, Rory's in jail and Ty's not. And her statement to you was, how did that happen?
But I told her, I said, I don't tell her.
Rex, I think what happened is, let's talk about the people living in the treehouse. let's talk about the good people in the story and not the good people in the story. Not so good people living in the treehouse. Addicted to crack, selling their body for crack, people coming and going worse than the place that you're living in, because there's no one in that treehouse that's trying to take care of the property. That's too old.
What is the treehouse?
The place across from CDA.
Okay, I've heard about the crack den.
Yep, the crack den. You know what? And you know the kind of people that are hanging out the crack den.
No, I don't, never been.
Now, to be clear, you're not lying here.
No,
You don't know the treehouse. You haven't been there.
no, never in my life. Before I moved, before I
But
come here
when
after
you're
the
giving
hurricane,
this- when
I've
she's
never
asking
been there
you,
before.
had you been to the treehouse already?
After this, yes, this is after the incident. Of course, this is November 22nd. The incident happened November 17th. That's a ridiculous question. Of course I know that where the treehouse is now.
That's not what you're telling her.
I didn't know that's what it was called. I knew where it was. Nobody referred to it. We're going to the treehouse. I didn't know what it was called. We're going over here to this place where the crack is. That's what I knew of it. I didn't know it called the treehouse. Never heard it referred to that till this incident.
The crack den is what she calls it, right?
Yes, I called it that.
So you think you're being honest here?
I know I'm being honest here.
Let me get here. Sorry, Your Honor, my eyes are not as good as these.
Yeah, and I believe that.
Never been over there, like, I don't.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but I think here's what happens. They get a little bit of money. And a little bit of money on Stock Island is 100. A lot of money on Stock Island is 1,000. And there's word on the street that $1,000 has changed hands. So all at the treehouse got $1,000. And I think there's discussion, there's a plan. Let's go get $1,000 for the crackheads. We'll go in, we'll make it quick, we'll come out, no one will know us, we'll make sure that we got masks, we'll make sure nobody knows us. They don't need $1,000 to smoke up crack, we need $1,000 to live. We'll do right with the money, we'll do right by all of us in the place on Second Street. Let's make this fast and easy. And I know you were part of the plan. Now I also know, hear me carefully, Travis, I also know that that plan never included hurting anyone at all. Because had there been discussion and you talked about hurting someone, you never would have participated. Because you're not that guy. You're not that guy that's going to sit down at a table with people and say, yeah, let's go beat somebody up. Let's go rape somebody. Let's go rob somebody. Let's go kill somebody. That's not you. You're a guy who's trying to survive. That's you, Travis. Now, could I hear you? Could I see you saying, let's go get some money to make life a little bit easier for us? Yep. Because that's the kind of guy you are. You're struggling. I get it. You lost all your tools. You lost all your cooking supplies. The place that you're living is mold infested. Your mattress got wet. It's hard. And you're struggling. And there's this, let's go get a little bit of money to make life a little bit easier. And you didn't go into the treehouse. You didn't. But you drove them there. You drove them there, Travis. We got your truck on video. The camera right where you parked it. When you pulled off Long Island and parked your truck, and Detroit and Ty got out of that truck, all three of you are on camera, video. Now you did the right thing, because you dropped them off and then you got the hell out of there. You're gone. You don't know what they did in the treehouse. You don't know about it until after. The plan wasn't to go up in there and hurt anybody. The plan wasn't to go up there and kill anybody. The plan was, go up there, get the money, get your ass back, and then we'll split the money. That's the plan. And then everything went bad. And it wasn't Detroit that broke bad. You and I both know who broke bad. Who went off script, Travis? Who? The same guy that threatened a 27-year-old when I won?
Okay, Travis. I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson. That sounds pretty familiar as far as stories go, correct?
Sounds, yes. The implementation or implication of specifically who did this was off, but she was on point with her
Basically goes
narrative.
into detail, correct?
She was on point with her narrative, yes.
Okay. Now, again, you haven't said anything about your story at this point, right? The story that you've been telling. Okay, so you say Phelps gave you your narrative, right?
She created the narrative that existed. She brought to light the narrative, not my narrative, not her narrative, but the narrative in question.
Well, that's what we're here to figure out. But okay, to give them a question here. Okay, you say that she got the narrative, correct?
Correct.
Okay, now she couldn't possibly be throwing you a lifeline, could she?
No. No, she was being a good detective and telling me exactly what she was doing.
I mean,
Asking him if she's throwing him a lifeline, it calls for him to speculate. That's what she's doing.
Well, I'll overrule the objection.
now, Mr. Johnson, you testified already that you were afraid of a life sentence, that you were upset because you were afraid of a life sentence. Is that correct? That you were afraid right here, correct?
I was afraid of being, yes, charged with murder.
Okay. You're afraid of being charged with murder. When Penny Phelps told you this story, did it, all of a sudden, were you afraid, or?
I was in shock.
Okay. Okay. And just, you were in shock. Okay, let's play a little bit longer here.
Pregnant woman, and that's not you. He broke bad, and he did the one thing no one talked about. There was nothing planned to hurt anybody or kill anybody. And now you've all been living with that for the last 5 days. Nobody left. Everybody's had a different time in the world. You know the one guy who's walking around loving it? Bragging to everybody today. I said out in Detroit. He's in jail, a free man. He thinks this is funny, Travis. He's bragging. He's not filled with guilt. He's not filled with remorse. He's not having trouble sleeping. He's not mourning the life of another human being. An old man, you know what he told us last night? Man, I heard he got stabbed 7 times. He was bragging about it. There's 2 sides to the story, Travis. The side of all the people that got jammed up in a bad...
Now, Mr. Johnson, would you agree that, again, it seems to be that Captain Phelps is implying heavily that I had something to do with this?
Yeah, she's trying to coax the truth out of me.
But she's using me to do it, correct?
Of course she is.
Okay. And, okay, we'll keep on going.
Those are good people who make mistakes. The other side of the story is the bad person did a bad thing and feels really, really good about doing a bad thing. That's not you. What I need you to talk to us about, Travis, is you got to give us your side of the story. You got to let us know, because I believe in my heart and soul, you're one of the good guys on the good side of the story. You're not over here. You've never, your whole life's been over there. You're not a violent guy. You've never demonstrated hurting anybody. You're a good person that got just all jammed a really bad thing. And the really sad thing is, Travis, you weren't even up in there. You drove up. We got you on camera. You drove past the house at 4:08. Real slow, so everybody could see where it was and where they were going to go when they came up out of there. And a little bit after 8 o'clock, you come back. And you park your truck right in front of that camera at the gate. And they get out. Ty gets out. Detroit gets out. And then you get the smartest thing here. You don't get out of the truck. You get out of there. You get out of there. And then everything goes to shit. And now here you sit.
Oh, okay. I don't know whether it's stopped or whether it's paused. Mr. Johnson, just to clarify here, you haven't said anything about me at this point, have you?
No.
Okay. And as far as you know, nobody else has either, right?
As far as I know, is what they're telling me. That's as far as I knew.
And as far as I know, far as you know what they're telling you, correct?
Yes, all I know is what they're telling me.
Okay. And, you know, let me make sure that, make sure that this video actually stopped and it didn't have any more to go.
Stop it.
They
It
didn't.
didn't stop?
Let's go to the next section.
Oh, well, here, I'll let you do it again.
So, on to the next section. That segment's completed. So, again, continuation on another section of the same interview.
Good guy, stuck up in his bad stuff, trying to live past what the heck happened, trying to deal with it every day. I know you're on it, and we're here to make sure, I get it, and we're here to make sure that you are not gonna get hurt. April's stepping up too. She's on her way with us right now, Travis. So when I tell you that you are gonna be safe, I'm telling you you're gonna be safe. But in order to make that happen, I gotta know what happened. I gotta make sure, Travis, you're a good guy.
You just told us. You just said it.
You tell me it. That's what I've been telling you. Don't leave anything out, Travis, from the start.
I'm scared.
I get it.
Travis, what my captain does, she's not gonna get hurt.
Now, Mr. Johnson, what was your response when she said, is this what happened?
I told her what had happened. I told her that she was on point with her narrative.
Did you just say, you just said it?
Yes.
Okay.
I said, she just said it. There
Okay.
were differences.
What I'm saying is, so far you haven't told her anything about your story, right?
No.
Okay. And she just nails it on the head, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oops, hold on. Let's get that going. So, you have to excuse me.
So we're sitting up there coming, and they're wanting to get out. They wanted to smoke. And somebody said something to, I think it was a Burger guy. Said something about, there's a lot of money over here at the Treehouse and a bunch of stuff. And next thing they're going, they're saying, well, let's go get some. And I said, why, where I come from, is just park right there, we get out, you just do whatever. Okay. And I did. Pulled up, they got out. And I saw them, and I got scared to death. And I went back to the house, and they came back, and divvied up the money between the two of them. They gave me $50 bills, put in my truck for gas, and they went up through there, and I scared to death that, if I'm out, or if I said anything, or did anything sideways or whatnot, I figured the best thing I could do was just try to keep doing what I was doing and be the right guy and be the right woman.
Travis, I can't tell you how happy it made me today when I talked to you earlier to hear that happened.
Now, Travis, sorry, Mr. Johnson, would you agree that, yes, if you were actually there and participated, it would be very easy for you to know the details to fill in that story?
Know the details of what?
The narrative, Phelps's narrative, would it be very easy for you to fill in those details?
Yes.
If you actually were there, took part in it?
Yes.
Okay. And as more than a driver?
As more than a driver.
Well, she gave you, you're the driver now. This is where it comes from, right?
No, this was the truth. I was the driver. It was my truck. Of course I drove it.
Okay. What the operative term here, I guess everybody's used, is, were you the getaway driver?
Yes.
Okay. But this is the first time we've ever heard of this.
And this scenario from another detective.
Any
She was
detective.
identifying me as
any detective.
Yes,
any-
I was being identified as the
This is the first
getaway
time.
driver.
This is the first time it's come up, though, right?
They did it earlier in the previous part of the interview.
They called-
David Fernandez was saying we have pictures of your truck.
But did he say you were the getaway driver?
I don't recall.
Okay. I know we just watched it, but okay. But for this purpose, yes, did Phelps just call you the getaway driver?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Now, again, you haven't offered up anything at this point. Right? You haven't told anybody anything.
No.
Okay.
Judge, I'm not objecting.
I'm going to sustain the objection. That's inaccurate characterization of what was just presented on the tape. He hasn't told anybody anything. It's not.
Well, that's not true. You're right. You're right, Your Honor. I made a mistake in my wording there. Okay. You didn't specifically give them any details of your involvement in the crime prior to this.
No.
Okay.
And the other thing, I think, again, it's been a big part of, my existence when I was here before I left the team.
Because I am different from worried about you, worried about me, worried about Detroit. Because in this story, I saw all the people. Travis, they-
Hold on. I'll pause it.
Who are they that were talking about going to the tree? Who's with you?
There we go.
Is there some difficulty in hearing?
I can try and do that.
Okay, let's try.
Let's see. Actually, if I may, just get a little closer to make it easier.
Okay, however it's easier to operate.
We're having that talk. Just a time where we have the talk at. Inside the house. Upstairs where you were, we had played on.
My wife came up with PTSD, kicking it, we don't know how exactly attack, okay?
Take a breath. Take a breath.
Take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath. You're good. You're good. We're not in a hurry. We're safe. Travis, you're safe. We got you, buddy. You're safe.
You're as white as you can be right now.
You're in what? Respect.
I did come down.
I know.
We heard that, you know that.
That's exactly why we're talking to you. We know you didn't do this. We never meant for it to happen. Never.
Get along with everybody in the house, so that I wouldn't get victimized even more, I don't know. I don't know how to explain this, I don't know what to say.
Travis, say the truth, and that's what you're doing, and that's the best thing you can do.
Whatever you guys want me to do.
Whatever you say. We want you to, if we just want you to tell the truth, Travis, that's all we want.
And whatever that means,
Travis, did you just tell her you will do anything they want you to do?
So at this point, I would cooperate with them 100%, yes.
Said specifically that.
Okay, what are you implying by me saying that? I said I would cooperate with them. Is there a misconstruement of what that meant to you or to me? It's, I will comply.
Mr. John, he just asked a simple question.
And I answered it. I will comply. That's what that meant.
Okay. We'll move on.
We're gonna do what we can for you, Travis, okay? We're gonna talk to the state attorney, and we'll see what we can do, okay? I don't make that decision, Travis. I know that. I know that. Travis, let's get some of the details so I can talk to the state attorney, okay? So it's you and it's Ty and it's you all and upstairs. And what time of the day was the discussion? How long in the day, how late in the day?
It all transpired within 30 minutes.
Okay.
You know, there was Roy left for a little while. I think he went to Burger King. He came back, and he said to Tyrone about, you know, this is happening, you know, and they're doing it. You know, let's go over here and get this money.
Mr. Johnson, did you just say that Rory Wilson came back from Burger King and said, let's go get this money?
Yes, when Rory Wilson returned with the information that he had gotten it from Burger King.
Okay, so he's the one that wants to do the robbery on the Treehouse,
Yes,
correct?
he's the one who got the information, correct?
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Just clarifying.
They said, well, you know, we should drive us over there. And I was like, man, guys, I don't really want to be a part of this. But yeah, I'll drive you over there.
Okay.
He said, I would. I said, I'll do it. And I said, I know, whatever. I'm not looking for a cut or anything like that. I just, you know, want some gas in my truck.
Yeah. Just try to get it.
That's all I'm trying to do.
Travis, you're trying to survive. We get it. We absolutely get it. So how much earlier in the day is this kind of talk about going over there before 8 o'clock at night?
You know,
Okay. Well,
maybe now.
so who knew there was money up in that house, in that treehouse? Who was talking about no one was money up there? Was there a dollar amount for that? Did you know how much money was up in there? Did he say how he knew there was money up in there?
Somebody at Burger King told me.
Okay.
Travis, I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson. Did you just say that
Yes, I did.
I'm the one who said there's
Yes, I
money at
did.
the Treehouse, and I got it from Burger King?
Yes, that you did.
Okay.
That was inconsistent with mine, number one, confusing you two with each other.
Okay. What does Rory Wilson look like?
He's black.
Okay. Big black man, small black man.
Right. Your name's Tyrone.
Okay. I know my name's Tyrone, but that doesn't make me black.
No, it doesn't, but that was
Okay.
the confusion between the two. Is the
Okay,
name
just-
Tyrone, in my mind, correlates to a black man. Unfortunately, I don't mean to, sound racist, but that's probably where the confusion in my mind started. Because I am not familiar with you two guys that well.
Okay. Well, again, just a minute earlier, didn't you say a minute, maybe
It
two?
was Rory, yes.
It's Rory Wilson.
Good answer, Judge.
Okay.
Already answered this question.
Okay, it's crossed.
Okay.
We'll give him a little leeway, so, anyway.
I think we've established this. Now, in your story today, who is it?
It was Rory that came back with the information.
Okay.
And clarification, that, I don't even recall naming you as the individual with the information. I wasn't aware that I did name you as the one with the information until I had gone over some of these interviews with other people, but the clarification was that it was Rory, not you, that came back with the information.
Mr. Johnson, how many times have you gone over these videos with other people?
Like I said, I've only seen them 4 times. I've only seen this one. This is only the second time I've ever seen this video.
Okay, but you were here, right? You were actually there.
Actually, where?
As far as in this interview, giving this interview, telling this information.
Yes, that was me. That is me.
So, we're gonna go get the money. They ask you to drive the truck. What do they do to get ready to go get the money? How come you don't see them planning what they're doing to get it going?
They put on a pair of black pants and a black shirt. One I guess it's called a neck gaiter.
Okay. Who had the net meter in? Tyrone. Okay.
Because he got a beard.
Okay. Did you see Detroit do anything with like a net gator?
I think he had it just look like a, what you
Like, I mean, you say demon, I see Satan. Tell me what they describe as demon.
It's sharp teeth, straight, almost like a dinosaurish type looking thing.
Did Ty have a mask? Okay. So, they get dressed in black shirts, black pants. Did both of them have gloves on?
I think so.
Okay. And,
I didn't see their gloves. I think they're in the pocket, but I do have it.
okay. And you see Ty put on a gator kind of hide his goatee. And then Detroit puts on this mask that looks.
Now, Mr. Johnson, you did testify there that yes, was it, I suppose they put on a neck gaiter with, if I remember correctly, it's Jägermeister's written all over it, right?
Yes.
Do any witnesses ever identify that?
Objection, Judge, improper question.
I'm going to sustain the
Okay.
objection.
Was there ever a neck gaiter with Jägermeister written all over it, recovered in any of the discovery you've seen?
No.
Objection, Judge. He's not the law enforcement officer who's gathering evidence.
Well, to his knowledge, he can answer to his knowledge.
That's what I was asking.
No, to my knowledge, that was never a piece of evidence that was
Okay.
labeled or taken.
Did they ever find another mask, that, to your knowledge?
Outside of the demon,
Yeah.
I think they found like 3.
Okay. And where did those come from, Mr. Johnson?
The warehouse.
But, again, they've never been attributed to anybody that you know of.
Not that I know of, no.
Okay.
Big teeth that looks kind of like a dinosaur. Do they have this stuff on when you first drive by the treehouse?
No.
Well, it's just three guys riding in a truck. So you're driving, where's Detroit sitting? Front seat, and where's Ty sitting? Behind you. That's everybody that's in the truck. All right. So you drive by, how do you get from the place you stay to go by the treehouse? Tell me the way you drive.
Out around, they come out, take a right, take a left, take a around, then go right back to the house.
Back to the house. Now, what you're talking about in that trip past the treehouse when you go by real slow.
And yeah, well, they told me that's it right there.
Okay.
And they said, stop right there.
Okay. So the first time you just buy it and they point it out and tell you where it's at. Okay, so now do you go back to the house?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you sitting in the parking lot of the house talking again? Okay. So now what happens during the second trip to the treehouse?
We went upstairs, they got their stuff, we went back, they got out, and they came, or not they, just Tyrone.
Okay.
Came back, and I took off.
Okay. The second time when you go
I
back,
didn't see, I don't know what happened on the way.
Okay.
I don't know.
the second time you go, are you sitting in the same spot you're driving?
There are some consistencies here, some. Would you agree?
Somewhat.
Consistencies to your story that you gave today.
Yes.
Okay, there are some, right?
And there are some inconsistencies, correct?
Okay. Now, again, when we were talking earlier, or questioning earlier, again, when did I come back to the warehouse supposedly?
After I returned, after I'd left you guys.
Okay, and about how long did it take you to get back after you took off?
I don't know the exact times, Mr. Tucker. A few minutes, a few seconds. It was relative. For me, it seemed like forever, but it was probably only 2-3 minutes at most, maybe even 20-30 seconds.
Okay.
It's not a very far drive.
It's not a very far jog.
Not a very far walk, not a very far drive,
Yeah.
not a very far run.
Okay. And to be clear, again, your route, she just went over your route. Is that correct?
That's, I believe, what she was doing, yes.
Okay. And would that route be the same route that you were walking with Rory Wilson? You know, the Florida Keys electric video, when you're seen walking with Rory Wilson,
That's
that's the
Second
same.
Avenue.
That's the same road, right?
That's Second Avenue, correct?
And that's the one that you took the truck down, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then you got Rory in the front, and Ty in the back, and behind you. Now, when they got their stuff, when they said they got their stuff, what did they break through the trunk to go get the reaper? Or did they break
He got his mask and their clothes and gloves,
Okay,
and I could tie a hat on. Well, razor knife. Not a razor knife, but a diet knife.
but this, like the kind you strap to your leg?
Yeah.
Okay, was it image? Yeah. Good guy.
Actually, I think this is the video for that.
It was.
I believe it's the end of the video. It just cut off, that's all. Now, Mr. Johnson, you said that first you didn't, again, in this, did you say that you didn't know whether or not they had gloves, correct?
Yes, I did say that I don't know if they had them 100%. I wasn't aware. I don't recall seeing them today. I don't recall them.
That's okay. When Phelps asked you this question again, did you say that they have gloves now?
That's what it sounded like. Yes.
And did you say I had a razor knife?
I said, you had a razor knife? No, wait a minute. It was a dive knife.
Okay. Mr. Johnson, I guess we agree there are some major inconsistencies here, correct?
I wouldn't say major, no.
Okay. Is there a big difference between a razor knife and a dive knife?
Yes, and I corrected that immediately. If you don't recall, rewind it, listen again, and I corrected that.
Okay. You corrected that.
Yes.
Okay. Did Captain Phelps tell you each part of this story?
No, she did not. She told me her narrative as a detective, what she thought might have happened.
Yeah.
Okay? Due to detective work.
Okay.
I filled in the blanks because she was dead on with her narrative and her motive.
Okay.
And I explained and filled in the pieces for her, Mr. Tucker.
Okay. Mr. Johnson, does she continue to feed you facts as we watch this?
Facts. Yes.
Okay.
She feeds me facts.
Okay.
And I verify them for her.
And you
Sure.
verify them for her?
Yes.
Right, so, again, now what would happen, Mr. Johnson, if those facts aren't true?
Objection, Judge.
Yeah, it's an unclear
Okay.
question.
Okay. Let's put it this way. Has there ever been any evidence or discovery that you have ever seen that verify Captain Phelps' facts?
Objection, Judge, to that kind of a question.
I'm going to sustain the
Okay.
objection.
Okay. We'll keep on going. Did you cue up the next one, Mr. Mansfield?
Sure.
Thank you. Oh, it's up there. I'm sorry.
Sheep or just laying by itself? And she, okay, what color was the sheep? Black. Black, okay. Did you see Rory with the knife? You just, the only knife you saw was the top. Could Rory have had a knife and you just not seen it? Okay, so now, talk to me about how you leave the house and how you get back to the treehouse and how you do when you get back to the treehouse the second time. What happened?
Like there was just a one drive around and looked, and then we came back and
Okay,
like,
okay, so you never went back? So let me get this straight. So Travis, you leave the house, and when you leave the house the first time, everybody's ready to go.
no.
Okay,
Well, they wanted to take a look.
okay, so they take a look, and then you go back home, they go get their stuff, they come back to the truck. So now you're heading back to the treehouse. How do you drive down? Which street do you go?
The out going right to the left, and then came back down and said,
Just because there's been a little bit of confusion here, and did you just tell Captain Phelps that you went from the warehouse to the treehouse and then did like a ride around and then came back?
Yes.
Okay. Now, and this is where we were having a little confusion earlier, and I'm just hoping you can clear this up. When you went there and you went around, is that when you saw the black sedan?
Not the first time, no.
And not the first time?
No.
Okay.
parking lot and I can go.
Mr. Johnson, what is it you're signing there?
I'm not signing anything. I'm drawing a map.
Oh, you're drawing the map, okay.
Okay, so each time you come into this loop, just come straight down Second Street. Okay, so when you come this way the second time, where do you park, where do you stop? Okay. Okay, and.
I mean, we're talking at the end of the street.
Okay, the end of, way behind the marina?
No, I'm behind, see, it's not way behind, but.
Okay,
Yep.
Yep.
Right behind.
okay, and then get out, do you see him go through the tree house?
No.
Okay,
You see him enter.
but you saw him walk in the direction of the tree house. What are they wearing when they're out of the truck? What do they got? Talk to me about what Detroit.
Black shirt and black shorts.
Okay, does he have the mask on?
No.
Not yet.
Mr. Johnson, did you testify today that you saw us go into the gate?
Yes.
Did you just tell Captain Phelps?
I told her I didn't see you go into the treehouse,
Okay. So again,
because I didn't.
okay. Okay. You didn't see us go into. You saw us go into the gate, but not into the treehouse. Is that what you're trying to? Is
Yes.
that what you're saying? Okay.
Yes.
When do you see him put the mask on? You never saw him put it on. What about Tom? Has he got on?
He did have it together.
Okay,
And hat.
okay. What color hat?
It was kind of a sparkly black hat, almost like mine.
Okay.
But not quite, it wasn't too.
Was there any design on his neck gaiter, or was it just a dark color gaiter on top?
It was, I want to say, Jägermeister on it.
Okay. And you should go toward the treehouse, right?
Mr. Johnson, did you just say that I wore a hat that
Yes.
looked like yours?
Yes.
And that, again, neck gaiter, Jägermeister, or maybe Jägermeister, right?
Yes.
You say, ooh, this is like a, is it when you see Tyrone?
Yeah, whenever I was, I see it across the street, and it's flashlight, and I was like, yes.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on.
Describe the man that you saw running across the street. Okay. So you see a flashlight, and you think it was a guy. White guy, black guy? Can't tell. Can you hear things going on? Can you hear people?
All I heard him saying was, police.
Okay. Okay. Do you see Ty come running down the, how's he coming in?
My passenger side window, or passenger side mirror is broken, so I couldn't, and I just saw him.
Okay. So did you take off and go down Second Street to go home?
No, I went straight, like, okay, where it was, turned right.
Went right home. Just got home.
Yep.
Parked the truck.
Yep.
Does Ty come right home?
Yep.
Does Rory come right home?
Yep.
No? When does Rory finally come home? Okay. When you and Ty get home, talk to me about the conversation you and Ty had. When you see, what did he say?
He really didn't say anything. I was like, talk, man, just went down, and he's like, where's the door?
Okay. Do you
It's
see,
no big deal, it's no, no.
do you see any blood on it? Does he have a knife with him? So the guy was gone. It's missing someplace. Does he have a gator on still? Gator's gone.
Okay, so earlier you testified that you asked Rory Wilson what happened when you got there. How was it to Tom Thumb?
Yes.
Okay, and what did he tell you again?
Not to worry about it.
Okay, and now you just told Phelps, if I've seen here, I guess, would you agree that you just told her that I said?
Not to worry about it.
To worry about it, okay.
Still wearing black shirt and pants? When Rory comes home, what's Rory got?
Black shorts.
Black shorts, does he have a shirt on? Shirt's gone. So the shirt's gone. Do you see him with the mask? Mask is gone. And you never really saw him in the night, so you don't think he had a knife? Did he come home with the knife? What does Rory say when he gets to the house?
Not much at all.
Mr. Johnson, did you testify earlier that when you met Rory Wilson at Tom Thumb, that he was still wearing a shirt?
Yes.
Did you tell Captain Phelps in that video that Rory Wilson was not wearing a shirt?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Which one would it be, Mr. Johnson?
Well, I hadn't been shown the video yet of me walking, so I hadn't owned up to that part of me running into him up the street yet. So right now it's just me basically struggling for a description of him best I could.
Okay. Well, again, and I think you said this earlier. I'm not sure. And you got to excuse me. But no, I think you said earlier you know it was you in that video.
Yes.
Right? Because you lived it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, why would you need to see a video to know whether or not Rory Wilson was wearing a shirt?
I didn't need a video to see whether or not Rory Wilson was wearing a shirt, but when I was showed the corroborating evidence, the facts hit me in the head like a brick that I was caught, so I needed to come clean about everything. Mm-hmm. And the shirt, relevance of the shirt, not being on, being off, wasn't registering to me as a problem at this time.
Okay. But again, you said
I still don't think it's a problem. I mean, inconsistency is what I remembered at the time versus what the facts in the video show. I just don't believe that was a relevant question.
Okay. Oops, sorry. Mr. Johnson, this was, you understand this was a murder, correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And you understand it was supposedly a stabbing, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And that would imply, I would imagine, that you would understand that there would be blood, correct?
That's what happens sometimes when people get stabbed.
I understand this. Mr. Johnson, would you agree that if again we're talking about a murder and a stabbing, that blood on a shirt might be relevant?
It would be relevant.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
Did you guys go upstairs?
Yeah, well, he went in and talked to people for a little while.
Okay. What did you guys split up the money?
They split it up and he was sitting there at the table and handed me $50.
How much money did they split up? Lot, a little bit? Okay. How were the bills? 20s, 10s, 5s, what? 20s and 5s, okay. The money smelled like perfume. When you saw Ty running towards where you were parked, did you see anything that was human? So he's just running. Did he say anything when he was running? Just running. And you're gone. Gone. You see him running Rory when he gets home? And jerks. He gets home and go upstairs.
Mr. Johnson, again, you testified today that you saw me running down the street behind you with a bag in my hand,
Yes.
dropping things.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson, would you agree that that is not what you just told Captain Phelps?
That is true. That is not what I just told her.
Okay. just to clarify again, would you consider this being honest?
Judge, objection to the question.
I'm going to overrule the objection.
No, I would not consider it being dishonest. I would consider it, for a lack of better terms, not 100% thinking about the chain of events clearly enough to convey exactly what had happened. It's only through time that the scenario, that the situation, that the facts had returned through my studying of myself and the discovery of what truly happened. Because at this time, I'm clearly distraught. I'm clearly under duress and not making a lot of sense. I'm sitting here watching, and I'm not making a lot of sense to myself because of how distraught I was. So details, 100% of the details are not coming out. I do not believe at this time.
Okay. Mr. Johnson, I understand what you're saying. Would you also agree that 6 years at this point is a long time to get it right?
It's a long time to reflect, yes.
Okay. And you did get to look at discovery and evidence.
I had my discovery correct.
Okay. And you did have these discussions with investigators, correct?
Yes, I had talks with investigators, correct.
Okay. So, again, would you agree that that is quite a bit of information for you to go over in 6 years?
I would agree. That's a lot of information to go over in
Okay.
6 years in that discovery, correct.
Okay, so your story should be fairly well solidified at this point, correct?
It is solidified at this point. There have been additional bits of information that have come out, but the narrative has never changed.
Okay,
The story has never changed.
never changed.
No.
Okay.
No, the scenario of me, Rory Wilson, and Tyrone Tucker
Okay.
being the participants in this robbery have not changed.
Mr. Johnson, have you ever said this story is false?
That this story was false?
That this story that we are watching right here is false?
I do not recall this, no.
Okay, the story you're telling right now is false. Have you ever said that to anybody?
No, I have not.
Okay, good.
At any time, did they tell you that night or any other night, that we stabbed somebody? When did you learn that the guy was dead? How'd you find out?
Coconut telegram. You know, people talking.
Did you?
It was a little black man named
Papa? What did you think when you heard it?
And I knew that I needed to get the fuck out of there because I couldn't leave myself in a safe place because this is not what I want to be.
Did Tommy ever tell you you better not talk? Did he say anything to you? Did Rory ever say anything to you? So you were afraid because you thought something was going to happen. Travis, do you know who killed the guy? Did they ever tell you who killed him? If one person did this stabbing, who would you think would have done that? Did you see Ty put clothes in her bag? Did he use clothes that night that he wore and put them in her bag? Did you ever see Rory taking clothes that he wore and put them in that bag, trying to get rid of anything? Did they ever say anything to you about, hey, take this stuff, get rid of it first? Okay. And so it's $250. You kill a guy with $250. That's pretty messed up, Travis. Pretty messed up.
Did you just say it was your fault there, Travis?
No, I did not. I said I feel like
I feel like
this
it's
could be my fault.
your fault, okay. And again, so you do this robbery, apparently agree to be the driver, right?
Objection asked and answered
Okay.
15 times.
Okay.
Sustain it.
And again, why would you want to participate in this for, you said nothing?
Objection asked and answered.
I'll overrule the objection. Go ahead, answer it.
Just rephrase the question again.
I'm sorry. Let me make it a little more clear. Okay. At some point, Travis, I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson, at some point, you say that, you see us come down in dark clothes, a knife and a pipe, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you know it's going to be an armed robbery, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Why would you want to participate in an armed robbery without getting paid?
I didn't want to get paid because I didn't know, number one, what was going to be taken. Number two, I didn't know you guys. Number three, I did kind of want to get paid because I wanted gas money in my truck. So honestly, there was motivation for me to get involved. The addiction in my mind of wanting to get high was another motivating, irrational, but motivating factor for me to participate in this.
Oh, thank you. Now, Captain Phelps, if I remember correctly, just said $250 to kill a man, right?
That's what she said.
Okay. And you're saying that $50 was more than enough for you.
No, I didn't say that, Tucker. I said that's what I was given for my part. Not more than enough. Not that's my cut. I don't know where you want what you are trying to get me to say. I'm saying that the yes or no answers to your questions. No, I did not say that $50 was enough for me to do this job.
Okay. Mr. Johnson, you went on this job, right?
I
That's what you just
participated
called
in
it, a
this
job.
I participated in this crime.
Sustain the objection. It's argumentative. It's been asked and answered.
Okay.
So
Mr. Johnson.
get through this segment so we can adjourn for the evening. We've got a little bit more here, so if you have any questions that are admissible, you can go ahead.
Okay. Mr. Johnson, have you ever done anything like this before?
Objection, Judge.
I'm sustaining the objection.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Johnson. Okay. Let's continue with the video.
Travis, when we're having this discussion, we're talking about it, we stayed like an hour before the robbery happened. What did you think was going to happen to you if you told them, no, we're not doing it? What did you think was going to happen to you? What did you think they could do to you if you didn't go along with it? What do you think was going to happen? Okay.
Before we go to the next one. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Mr. Johnson, didn't you testify earlier that you're not afraid of me, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question. Would you repeat it in testified earlier that he was...
I'll change it. I'll rephrase, Your Honor. Did you just tell Captain Phelps that you were worried about what we would do to you?
Yes, context. We, two people against me that I do not know. Yes, I was worried about that.
Okay. Again, now, I assume, again, well, maybe I shouldn't assume. Mr. Johnson, you know, how much training did you get in the military?
Ample for my MLS.
For your MLS, yes.
Ample training for my MLS.
Oh, ample. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I guess I just didn't catch that. All right, so you got ample training for your MOS. What would that include?
Basic training in AIT.
Okay, and what was your AIT?
AIT is called Advanced Individual Training. My AIT was infantry training.
Okay, and what would that entail? Would that entail hand-to-hand combat?
That would entail many facets of being an infantryman. Hand-to-hand combat being one, yes.
Okay, would that entail firearms?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, how about knives?
Not so much, no.
Okay. Mr. Johnson, did you have a large collection of knives
I did.
when this occurred?
I did.
Okay. And were those knives ever taken into custody by the investigators?
After they executed search warrant on my truck, yes.
Okay. After they executed a search warrant on your truck. Now, didn't you say that?
Tucker, did you have any more questions pertinent to
Oh, but
this?
pertinent to this video, you're right. Hold on, Your Honor. For time. We're already over 5 o'clock, Your Honor. Would you like to go to tomorrow at this point?
Yeah, I wanted to complete any questions pertaining to this particular segment. And
I think
that's done, then.
Yeah, I think we're good with this segment and previous at this point.
All right, thank you. So we're going to adjourn for the evening, members of the jury. Again, thank you for your patience, for your attention, for your time. I mentioned at the beginning that I do have to do a few other dockets during the course of this. This isn't the only case or the only division I have, so tomorrow morning I have some arraignments and some special set hearings and motion calendar, so we're going to start at 1 o'clock. So if you can please have your lunch beforehand, and I'll do my best to pick up at 1 o'clock. Have a great evening. All right, the jurors are gone, so just to get an idea, what do we, I assume we're going to continue with the cross and get an idea of how much longer you expect that to last, Mr. Tucker?
I wasn't expecting this long. I changed up to watching the entire video, which is fine. But I wouldn't imagine I'd have much longer, Your Honor. I mean, we're coming in at 1 o'clock. Am I correct?
Yes.
So I would have to, I don't know, maybe, I can't remember exactly how long.
It's almost over. I mean, like, I think we're literally like 5 or 10 minutes from the end of it.
Okay.
Well, if that's the case, Your Honor, I mean, there's not much after this. I mean, I could probably go within an hour, which would give Mr. Mansfield plenty of time for this lawsuit.
Well, there is such a thing called redirect, so I'm going to need some time for that. And we, Judge, we are going to have to put our medical examiner on after we're done with this witness tomorrow because he's not available Friday. So I believe our DNA analyst is available Friday, so we might have to just do a switcheroo there. That's not going to be a problem. I don't know. Well, somebody's going to, I mean, we're going to have to figure it out. But we will finish this witness and go forward from there.
Okay, so hopefully it won't take that much longer. So, Johnson, you're back tomorrow. We're starting court at 1. I don't know if there's any instructions again. Mr. Mansfield's witness, to what time would you
We'll
recommend?
have you here 12:30, Travis, right outside the courtroom. And
Yes.
Ready for 1.
All right, so otherwise, don't be discussing your testimony with anyone, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I have one question, just out of curiosity. These video segments that we've just been publishing, they haven't been admitted into...
Judge, I was going to, on my redirect, go ahead and move them in because they need to be in evidence.
Okay, I just want to be clear. All right, so let's be prepared to start at 1 and move forward expeditiously. But have a good evening. You all set over here?
Yes,
Got
sir.
everything you need?
Yes, we got everything, thank you.